Hey, Donovan Fondre here again with JumpStart Cooking Tips and Recipes. Here's our book. It's available through our store. Just check out JumpStartCooking.com for all the information you see on the show here, and also blogs and information and tips that will help you make your life in the kitchen much easier. One of my favorite Cajun recipes is called Etouffee. E-T-O-U-F-F-E-E. You know, I wish people, when they're doing cooking shows or general shows, when they have a strange word, they would either run a crawl to spell it out or else spell it verbally so you can tell what the word is. Of course, when you get older like me, you can't hear as well, so a lot of words go by and say, "What'd he say? What'd he say?" Etouffee is what he say. Now, normally this is made with crawfish, but you can do it, as we're going to do it today, with shrimp. All right, we want to make a roux, first of all. And a roux in the microwave is so easy. What we do is we take, let's take about 3 tablespoons of flour and 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use oil if you want, but I have a plastic dish here. If you're using oil, do not use plastic, use glass. Otherwise, it can burn the plastic when the oil gets hot enough to make a proper roux. All right, microwave this guy for, let's give it a minute and a half. And now, the vegetables in this etouffee, incidentally, etouffee means to smother. And what we're doing is smothering our shrimp with this wonderful mixture of roux and the vegetables and tomatoes. So the Holy Trinity, or Trinity, I guess this isn't holy, is peppers, onions, and celery. We want about 1/2 cup of each. Cut them up small pieces. Nice, fresh, good vegetables. You can actually use frozen vegetables for this, but since we're cooking and it's so easy to do it when you're doing microwave, you might as well do it fresh. Now, you may hear the term sometimes on other cooking shows of sweating the vegetables. And this is, they put them in a skillet, a little bit of water maybe, or just cook them slowly to allow that sweat, the moisture, to come out of the vegetable and to become tender. Well, when you're sweating the vegetables in the microwave, you don't have to worry about that. You just cook them up and they'll never burn or scald, which is a problem they're trying to avoid when you do it in a skillet. All right, some green onions or scallions, whichever you prefer. And these, again, about 1/2 cup each, just 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So we have scallion and pepper and celery. Beep, beep, let me take a look and see how the roux is doing and show it to you. Butter is melted. I want to blend it together with the flour, so mix it up like this. Now, if I started the recipe at this point, it's going to taste a little bit floury. So I'm going to give it another minute just to get that butter and flour emulsified together. All right, a little bit of celery, again the same amount. Celery leaves are good in this also. A third, just perfect. The shrimp are peeled and deveined. You don't want to have to peel them when you use this dish. We take this out and serve it on a bed of rice, or you could use noodles, but rice is traditional. So, now the roux, take a look. Oh, you can see it all frothing and already blended together. Okay, now we add the vegetables, which have a lot of water in them. So we're going to soften them. And this would just be the same as sautéing them in a skillet on top of your stove. But in the microwave, you don't have to tend it. So we just stir them together with the flour mixture and put them in the microwave for about 2 minutes or until they're soft. Okay, 2, and that'll do it. Okay, the other ingredients that we have are canned tomatoes, or you can use fresh tomatoes, but for this recipe, I really prefer the convenience of using canned tomatoes. These are what is called rotels, and they're a blend of hot chilies and tomatoes. You can get them, I think other companies are making them. Hunt, I believe, and Del Monte has a similar one, but this is the original rotel. And to me, they're just right. I love the amount of spicy that they have. My wife doesn't like them. They're too hot for her. So in that case, I just use diced canned tomatoes, and then you can add your own Tabasco at the end of the recipe if you want. So you're in control of the cooking, just like with microwave, when you are the cook and not the machine. So it's cooking up beautifully and they're doing just fine. And we'll be right back. There's no sense waiting to watch this countdown, and we'll just use the magic of television and cut out now, and we'll be right back. Okay, 9 seconds left, and our vegetables should be just sweated or sauteed perfectly for the etouffee recipe. Check it out. Forget those 2 seconds. I don't care about them. And here are the vegetables that are cooked in the roux. And the roux, of course, is to provide the thickening for this. Now, I can tell by just pressing with my fork that they're soft and beautiful, ready to be blended together with our shrimp. 1 pound of peeled and deveined shrimp. And these are the 21 to 35 size shrimp. If you don't know what that means, when you see 15 to 21, that means that many to a pound, 15 to 21. In this case, it's, what did I say, 31 to 35, 28 to 35. Anyway, these are the small to medium shrimp. All right, mix them together for the seasonings, and now the rotels. This is the chili peppers and tomatoes. Mix these together, pour them over, and mix it together. And now we're going to cook this until the shrimp are done and the sauce is just thickened up a little bit. I'm going to add some water to that too. I can see that we need a little bit more liquid. And of course that comes from experience, guys. The more you cook, the more you learn. And eventually all your recipes turn out beautifully. And if they don't, always get a big dog, especially when you're learning how to cook. It shouldn't be a complete loss, okay? The dogs will eat it anytime. Put a cover on here, and we're going to microwave this for 5 minutes. And at that time, we'll come back, check it out, and see if it's thick enough to serve with a nice dish of rice. We'll be right back. Oh, my oven is about to beep and tell me to check out your etouffee. Now, we want this to be not real thick, but we want it to be thick enough to make it into a nice sauce. That's why you smother the rice with this sauce of etouffee. All right, let's take a look. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Now, that was just 5 minutes, and I didn't have to stand over a hot skillet to make it. And see the sauce here, the juices? They're just thickened up the way I want them at this time. If you cook it longer, you can make it thicker, but the shrimp are done perfectly, so that's the important thing. I want the shrimp. They are the star, the highlight of this show. And if we had a nice spoon, we could ladle this out and serve it. There's some rice, and this happens to be brown rice. Again, I'm trying to get more fiber and more health into the cooking that I show here, so I like to use those things that have a little bit more of the healthy aspect of the food. Put that over the top and serve. This is a serving for 4, and depending on how many shrimp you want, that's it. Isn't that pretty? If it's not hot enough, add a little Tabasco or other hot sauce to taste, and you've got it. A beautiful etouffee. So easy when you cook it with your microwave. In this case, we're jump-starting the efficiency in your kitchen, even though we didn't use any of the other appliances. That's your JumpStart cooking recipe for today.